Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome to our Star Trek review.
Today we're going to do Elan of Troyes, the 27th film by...
Hey man, what are we doing?
Yeah, I forgot. What I was talking about was the Three Stooges review. Yes, this is the 24th film that Three Stooges made with Columbia Pictures, and it's called Goofs and Saddles.
And it was written by Felix Adler, directed by Del Lord.
It's not one of our favorite Three Stooges films.
No.
In fact, I was talking earlier... Oh, what did you say about it earlier?
You know, it's interesting that the Stooges can take such a dull film and brighten it up a bit.
That is one way to put it. We mark this one pretty much the same. We give it a 2 for slapstick comedy, and I kind of give it a 2 for effort, really. There's definitely some slapstick in here, but a lot of it's not that funny.
Well, I agree, but you know, we have things like those, the Stooges falling out of the tree. We have mud coming out of Moe's ear. We have the wagon wheels crushing people's heads, and the donkey biting these guys while they're in the bushes. So I wish it came together a little better as a cartoonish episode, but they threw some of the cartoon things in here to make it funny, maybe. And it's a good thing they did, because this would be, how dull would this be without? You know, how dull would this film be without the Stooges, I might ask?
We give it a 1 for dialogue. And that is because even the Stooges' dialogue is not that clever or that humorous. It's just not enough of it. It just doesn't seem to work. I mean, Curly is basically acting like a buffoon throughout most of this.
We prefer when Curly is a comedian rather than a buffoon.
It's kind of like there's a lot of ad-libbing in this, but I don't mean like ad-libbing, effective ad-libbing. I just mean it's like, okay, here's the story, you guys do this, and they're kind of like, well, what do we do? Like, what's the funny part? You know, like, where do we, like, do our thing? And it's like, oh, just do your, you know, just bark at stuff, and you know, I don't, it doesn't seem to be given a lot to actually do with the storyline. Again, you know, we got a problem with, again, it's the storyline. It always boils down to the storyline. Look,
no glue.
There is no glue. It's not a very good film, and so the Stooges don't have a lot to do, and that's why they're not really doing much.
And I think that segues us into the plot. We both gave it a 1, because the plot goes like this. The Stooges gotta go get the cattle rustlers because they're making havoc.
Not even because. It doesn't even matter. That's what I'm saying. The story, because why? Because nothing.
Well,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what that's the problem with the story. You're gonna tell. Well, part of the story is that the cattle rustlers are making like what? What are they doing? Like, what's the problem? As far as the Stooges are concerned, where is the problem? There is no problem. They're told to go get the cattle rustlers, and that's what this is about. And there's nothing going on.
Right.
The Stooges have no compelling reason to achieve their goal. And so they're not doing anything. There's no reason for them, you know, except that they were told to do this by the general, and so there's no... Uncivil Warriors, they have a goal. Bring back the information. In this, their goal is to go... You know, they don't have a goal. These scripts are half-baked to begin with.
Right, for sure.
And, you know, the director tells Moe that these are the guys you're after, and so Moe, you know, we got to tell the audience that those are the guys we're after, because we got to make this look like there is a story. So Moe does... You know, I'm going off on nothing, but the point is that...
It's because I don't know how to write a story, and I don't know what the hell's going on. He knows. That's why.
Yeah, and
do you see him getting all red and his veins coming out? He gets very passionate about this sort of thing. So you gotta know what the f you're talking about around here. And I don't always know what I'm talking about. I do know one thing: this film doesn't have a plot. You know, okay? So supporting cast,
and you're gonna try and explain.
Yeah, nothing, because there's nothing there. So we're gonna move on. After all that, we're gonna move on to our supporting cast.
They don't do anything.
Again.
We have some top-notch Stooge players doing nothing. I gave the Stooges, well, we both gave the Stooges 2s all the way down.
Because there's some slapstick there.
Yeah,
I'll give them that. Yeah. Taking these out the way we're doing it, like we're watching it and writing down and saying, okay, what is it that I like? What is it that I don't like? What films are really good and what... It's interesting to note that this one... I think that Goofs and Saddles, I mean, I laughed at the title last week when we were doing this, because I thought that this was going to be really good. this isn't a good one. And I'm glad I know that. Has a lot of those cartoon aspects, and I wish it was better.
We're trying to defend the fact that this earns a 12 from me and a 12 from me.
Yeah.
And that's not a very good score. Yeah, we're certainly not saying that this is a failure.
No.
On all fronts. But the fact is, this one is not that funny.
This is not Restless Nights. This is a lot better than that.
I know we have some diehard Stooge fans watching these reviews, and I know sometimes people think that we're completely full of crap.
And hard on the Stooges.
And we have no right to even review the Stooges since we're, you know, we don't even like some of the films and stuff like that. But first of all, how can you like everything that someone does in their whole career? They tried really hard to make this funny, but this was a case where they just didn't have much of a story. And I don't care how you cut it, the Stooges are at their best when they have a goal to achieve and a reason to achieve that goal. And this story doesn't give the Stooges anything to do or a reason to do it, and that's why it doesn't come together, it doesn't work.
They're doing Stooge routines without a story. He already said, that's not funny. I think if you have watched most of our reviews, you get that from us. That we don't like no story, and we don't like when Moe is smacking people around for no reason. Moe's not under stress in this episode. He's not doing anything. Okay, he's in the bushes. The guy, you know.
That's another aspect of this that you know, we're in a situation where literally there is no scene in this film that puts Moe in a situation where he is under stress and wants to find a way either out of the situation or get through the situation, and he's hindered by his two cohorts. This is when the humor starts.
That's right.
If you told me that Goofs and Saddles was not very good, and I'm thinking about a machine gun meat grinder, these guys running around in mobile bushes for, you know, camouflage, and horses biting them in the ass, and Curly being in the back of a runaway wagon, and you got them walking into a bar posing as high rollers. I mean, these things should all be very funny, but this episode, this film just kind of falls flat. This has turned into a very long review because we're starting to get some people following our reviews, and we're really just obsessed with the idea of trying to explain. This one's not very good for a lot of reasons.
Okay, but
not just because we don't like it and we think we know all about the Stooges.
We don't.
Maybe we're just kind of, you know, numb to what's funny and what works and what's
This is run-of-the-mill Stooges, and there's some stuff that isn't run-of-the-mill, and there's some stuff that's below par. And we might be, I think you hit it on the head, we might be insensitive to the funniness of this. It's possible.
It could be. But I still would not take this one out and say, you don't know the Stooges? Here, look at this film. This is a great one.
And you know what worries me is that
this one. I think, even though it seems like it should be good.
Right.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. And the thing is what worries me a lot of times is, like, if I'm in a room of people and they're like, oh yeah, I know the Stooges, I saw Goofs and Saddles. They wouldn't know the name. I'm just saying, you know, the one with the runaway wagon and the monkey. In my opinion, they don't know what the Stooges can do when they see Goofs and Saddles.
I honestly believe that the Stooges showed up on set and said, what are we doing? And the director and maybe, you know, the script supervisor just kind of helped them understand what it is they're trying to do, and they didn't really understand what the goals were themselves. You do see this sometimes in Stooge films where the, what do they call that? Discontinuity. You know, where Moe will say something that he doesn't. How did Moe find that out? You know, these kinds of things happen. This is one of those films where that's kind of like what's going on through the whole thing. Like, they don't really even understand what the plot of the film is, and they're just kind of goofing it up. You know,
they're hamming it up, being the Stooges.
Right, hamming it up, exactly. They're just hamming it up. And they might know what the outcome of the scene is supposed to be, but they don't seem to know what their overall goal for the particular film is. and I suspect
well,
neither
I
does
suspect
the writers
that they didn't write
or the
one,
director
right.
and such. And this is one of those films that just kind of was thrown together. Not that most of them weren't thrown together, but that's the beauty of it. Some of the best films probably were thrown together, but they're powerful pieces of comedy.
Right.
I think we should wrap this review up.
Probably.
Next time,
it's going to be Cash and Carry.
Cash and Carry. That's going to be the 25th film that the Three Stooges made.
All right, so thanks for stopping by the Three Stooges review, and check out our other reviews if you so inclined. Rate, comment, and subscribe.
See you next time on the Three Stooges review.